Kia ora, I'm Erin J. Doyle. Welcome to my channel. It has literally just started raining as I sat down. Hopefully it's quiet and not like weird hissy background noise. Anyway, so, a year ago, I guess, at some point in the past at any rate, I made a video where I talked about writing from real life, and there was a potential warning, I guess, that I forgot to put in that video, and I thought, haha, I'll make another video. So this is like part 2 of writing from real life. I don't know what I originally called that video. I'll figure it out and put it like in the title or something. Anyway, so when you are writing from your real life, you may put in a character who's essentially you, and maybe they're like a cooler you, a smarter you, a hotter you, and you know, some people are judgmental about self-inserts. That's not what I'm here to comment on. What I will say, just for yourself, there's something you should be aware of, is even if people are not aware it's a self-insert and they're not being like, oh, you know, this is just like wish fulfillment, self-insert, blah blah blah, even if that doesn't happen, what can happen is that people read a scene, maybe not knowing that secretly one of the characters is you. They might not like you. Like, they may read the scene in which the character who is secretly you is really clever and end up saying like, why is that person being a bitch? Or, I want to hear more about this other character who from your personal experience and your perspective was the a-hole of the scene. And you'd be like, I was the hero, and they want to have sympathy for the person that was an a-hole? Why? And it's like, well, it's maybe your perception of your experience doesn't come across the way you hoped it would when you wrote it. Maybe you weren't actually the hero of the scene like you thought. I mean, we do talk about how a villain is the hero of their own story. That's kind of true in real life, right? Like, I know some a-holes. I'm sure you do too. I don't think any of those a-holes think they're an a-hole. So when you write a scene in which one of the characters is secretly you, people might not like you. If you write a scene in which there is a person being bad in some way, whether they're like an antagonistic character or just a generally annoying character, whatever they are, or like, you know, a lovely but stupid character, and you put them in there, people might like that character more than the you character. And sometimes you are so convinced that that won't happen because it's so clear that you, or the you character I should say, were like the hero or the victim in the scene. That doesn't mean people are going to look at it that way. So for example, I wrote a short story about a time that I went to a gym. I was there specifically because my physio and my osteo had both recommended cycling to rehab my knee injury, which was from walking the Camino de Santiago. And I went, I spoke to the guy, and I talked to him about like, these are my injuries, this is how I got them, this is the advice I've been given, I just want to have, like, be shown how to use these machines that I haven't used before. Cool. And this person completely ignored everything I said, and did a whole bunch of stuff that I found quite questionable throughout like quite a lengthy thing. Like, he would get up and leave the room and start flirting with the trainer in the next room while I was talking. The program he had given me was completely inappropriate. It addressed none of my injuries, rather it aggravated them. He completely ignored everything I said about cycling, and then he came up with, oh, so you said you were here to lose weight, and I was like, I did not. I very seriously did not. I only said I was here for injury rehabilitation. And he doubled down. And so I wrote a short story about it. And in the short story I made the character who was me secretly a little bit more extreme. I made them more athletic, but I also gave them a really pronounced eating disorder, so that there would be really significant consequences to this encounter with this person, really aggressively fat shaming them, because then they would go on to restrict and binge. So that's kind of what the story was. And I read it to my creative writing group, and they all felt that the character who's based on me was being irrational, and went to great lengths to explain to me why the gym trainer wasn't in the wrong. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is so cut and dry! How do you not understand? But the point is, to my perception, I was completely in the right. I was completely innocent. I was the 100% victim in this situation. I had been very clear on what I had asked for, and then I had been fat shamed, and I had been lied to. So this guy, to double down on his "you're actually here to lose weight" agenda that he had pulled out of his ass, he attempted to lie to me about human biology. And I know that he did that because I'm a fucking biologist. So having that situation, and then writing a story about it, and then having people tell you that the character that's secretly you is wrong, and that the antagonist is the hero, oh, that hurts so bad. So if you are going to write from your own lived experience, particularly if it was an experience that had an effect on you of any kind, you have to be prepared for people to misunderstand, to think you're the villain, to not like you, to sympathize with the person that actually hurt you in real life. And that isn't, I think, something that you're going to be ready for when you go into it. Like, it's going to blindside you if you're super convinced that you've written a story about the time that you were the hero slash victim. I don't know what this is. Then that's going to be a surprise to you. And if you're not okay with that kind of a surprise possibly happening, maybe just stick to total fiction and don't write from your life. 'Cause ouch. And now I guess we wrap up this video and see how many gym bros jump into the comments to tell me that I am the villain of my own anecdote. Fortunately there'll be none, because probably none will actually see this video and it'll be fine. That's all I wanted to say for this video, so I hope you have a good week and I'll see you next time. Bye.